move might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
It's your boy, the ninja you love to hate, 51 Spade, Alpha Male G-O-D.
Two topics. The first one is expectations of sex, right or wrong, and how much do you let your friends and family know what's going on in your relationship? That's going to be fun. Let's start with expectations of sex, wrong or right. Now, I think what inspired this topic is just I think we may have been listening to fellow podcasters, and I think I specifically remember a guy saying he flew a girl out somewhere, bought her a pair of red bottoms, and after he purchased her shoes, I think she told him she wasn't ready to have sex with him. And so, if I'm not mistaken, they were somewhere together. He actually caught a flight and went home and left her there where she was to pay for her own ticket to get back home. So was he wrong for expecting sex, number one? And number two, would you ever abandon someone on a trip or on a date period because they didn't want to sleep with you after? And that's definitely a question for you.
You know, I'm just going to say this. These hoes are starting to put new abbreviations and names on how they hoeing is going. So, at the end of the day, what it was called was a big dick baller is what they called it. So basically, it's like if a woman is messing with somebody and they tend to fly them out somewhere, that's how they actually got to those expectations. But my thing is just this, whatever you want to do, hey, I'm cool with it, but do not expect everything to be free. You know, I tell everybody that nothing is for free. Just at the end of the day, if I pay for your ticket and I fly you out somewhere, nothing for free. I'm not saying that you have to fuck. I'm not saying that sex has to be given to me. But my expectation can still be my expectation. But I'm also saying don't think that I'm gonna fly you somewhere. And on top of that, she asked for the red bottoms. Now, if I volunteered to get you those red bottoms, but they were out shopping,
and she asked
for the red bottoms, bitch, I'm fucking. And that's just the way that. But
why is it not okay for a man to say that? So if I say, hey, I really like these red bottoms, and then you said, well, damn, how much are they? And I turn the thing over and it says they're $1,650. That's $1,650. I think it's okay for you to be like,
how much
is that pussy worth $1,650? And that opens up, you could even LOL after it, but that it still opens up the dialect.
Fuck, I'm LOLing for.
I'm just saying, some people might not be comfortable being that direct. That's why I added the LOL. Because it is direct.
1,600.
But it's a way to at least put in the air that, hey, I don't mind paying for them $1,600 shoes, but the expectation that I'm going to get some ass after I buy them shoes is already there. See, I don't think there's nothing wrong for you expecting that, but I think you need to verbalize before I sign the contract by accepting those shoes. Don't just say, okay, well, she going to give me some pussy, then we get back to the hotel. I don't, and then you have a problem. If you would have said that before we left the store with the shoes, I would have had to make a decision in that moment. Well, damn, if I really want these shoes, he's already saying, even though there was an LOL, you know, people laugh at the end. It doesn't mean it's not true. It just means they're a little nervous, or, you know, they want to add a little comedy to the direct statement. So my intelligence would know, even though you laugh, that, hey, he's a little bit serious. So if I'm going to get these shoes, I might be ready to do some things. You understand what I'm saying? I just think there needs to be clear communication.
Okay, so my thing is this, and she brought that up. She said that if he was man enough and to tell me how he felt, that she didn't say it would change her mind. She just said that I'm just not ready to have sex yet. She didn't say no, and I totally get it. That you know, you understand. But also, what I get is you running up my goddamn tab. I done bought you a goddamn plane ticket. I done flew you in. She said they was having a great time. You know what I'm saying? Out shopping and this and that, and she's just in that space of having a good time. Then you adding up my bill some more by saying it's some 1,500 red bottles. My thing is just this: if you say those type of things, and I'm gonna say for other people, is that it starts seeming like some prostitute shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I wouldn't be playing, and I'm not saying I have a problem saying that. I definitely don't have no problem saying that shit. Fuck, I've done it. I don't have a problem with it, but you also have to know like certain people that you're dealing with and stuff like that, because just from her reaction, I felt like if he would have said that, then it had turned into, you know, what like most women do, like, whoa, nigga, you getting me some shoes, so now I'm supposed and keep in mind that, like I said, she flew out.
Yeah.
Now, she's entitled to say no.
Right.
She's entitled not to fuck.
Right.
I'm not saying you got to.
Right.
Her problem was that he got up in the morning, left her there. She had to fly back to Houston because she said he flew her into Miami, and then he blocked her on everything. And I was like, motherfucking right.
Right.
Like, what
he did was
I don't see the issue.
He would probably he actually spent more than that on the shoes. Actually, probably cost more than the airline ticket is going to add up.
Yeah,
but I think
she said it was like $500 for the flight just for her to get back.
Yeah,
and that was her issue.
Right. I think her issue is her issue. And I know a lot of women are like, well, damn, that's fucked up. Let me tell you something. And the reason why I'm going to come from that perspective is because I've flown a bitch in on my credit card. And I was not happy with the money that I spent. And that bitch got a round trip ticket.
Oh, shit.
After that, I'm going to do the one-way thing. You know what I'm saying?
But
one way here, act right, we'll get you one way back.
But see, that was the thing. She said now that she deal with people, he bought her one-way trip. And now she was like, well, if a guy fly me out, now it has to be like a two-way trip. And my thing is like, do women really think that? Like, do women really think, and you're a woman, so do women really think like if you gonna get the most expensive shit on the menu, that this guy is supposed to be like, you know what? I don't want no pussy. That's next trip. Or you know, like is that really going inside y'all head?
I'm gonna answer that honestly. If it depends on the geography. Okay, it depends on the geography. It depends on the time. Do tell me the geography. Understand that if I'm gonna go travel to see you, there's already a level of comfortability because I'm getting on a plane, I'm leaving the comforts of my own home, and now going on your turf. So in my mind, the woman that's doing that, I hope you've talked to him enough or FaceTime him enough to be comfortable with crossing the line, because I think crossing the line is getting your ass on the plane to begin with. Okay. It's no longer the board game now that you control. Once you have decided to leave the comfortability of your home, you might be abandoning your rules, your boundaries, because now you're on his playground. So I think there's a certain amount of comfortability that needs to be established. Now, I'm not saying that just gives him the right to fuck you. What I'm saying is you need to make a decision about whether you should go or not if you're not ready to fuck. That's fucking common sense. And if she does the opposite, gets there and then, oh, it's too soon, bitch, it was too soon for you to go fucking visit. And if you didn't feel like you wanted to have sex with him, then you make his ass incur the cost to come see you where you're controlling the board game, make his ass get a hotel room. See, all those steps are letting him know that you're not ready to have sex. Oh, why don't you come see me? Oh, when you come, you can't stay at my house, you have to stay at a hotel. Well, what is that telling you before you even get there?
This bitch don't want to fuck me.
Exactly. Problem fucking solved. So yeah, I agree with men on this 100%. I think women sometimes think too much, and it's fine to let him fly you from Houston to fucking Miami, and you're not ready to sleep with him. In my opinion, you weren't ready to go to Miami. You need to stay your ass home.
So let me ask you this. So she didn't say no. She just said that I wasn't ready yet. Now I don't know how much of a yet that was finna be. I don't know if that was like, 11 o'clock at night and you ain't ready to 2. You know what I'm saying? A couple of hours need to pass by. I don't know if yet meant she ain't had enough drink.
There's
enough
a
smoke.
way to communicate YET. There's, oh, I'm not ready yet, and I'm not ready yet. You understand? There's a difference.
I know,
It's
don't
not
touch
how
me,
it's not how she said it. I mean, it's not what she said. It's how she said it. Because there's a way to communicate that you're not ready yet, but versus I'm just not ready yet.
Okay, so now my other question is, you put on a LOL. Okay, so now we out somewhere. I'm in a shoe store. I typically don't go in shoe stores, except I'm a quick shopper. Like, I go in, I get the Kobe's, and I'm right out. Now I'm in a store and we browsing, we shopping. She see these shoes and she say, "I like these shoes. They look nice." That's what you might get out of me. So that encouraged her to nudge a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wear a size 8.
Right.
Turn to the guy. "My man, you got a size 8?" And she's trying these shoes on. Now, I'm just speaking for me, because I don't speak for men all the way across the world. Just only speaking for Alpha Male God. I will tell her that this is the fucking side of the menu. LOL. I just want you to know this. Now, if you was a woman and you hear this, I just would like to know how you responding.
This is the fucking side of the menu.
I'm just saying.
Well, whether that actually offends me or not is hard to be in that moment because this is not the
I
moment.
put an LOL on it.
However, I'll say this. I will accept that as an efficient way to communicate with the person. That if I buy you them motherfucking shoes, we fucking. So at least I will give you a merit for communicating how you feel about.
So you
buying
don't find
the
it
shoes.
offensive?
No,
You don't find it
but I'm a
offensive?
different type of female.
I get it. So, but
Because I think her hinting you know that little nudge?
Yeah.
I think that's equivalent to you telling her that's the fucking side of the menu. Because she know what she doing when she nudged you for them damn shoes. We're very smart. So when we nudge you for shoes, we know what we're doing. And when you hit us with that's the fucking side of the menu, LOL, we know what you're doing. So we're effectively communicating with each other. Period. Whether it's offensive or non-offensive, it's still being said. It's still being put in the air. And I just think that's important. That's more important than anything.
Yeah, because she kind of brought it up, like, even though those things was going on, and then, like I said, she said they was having a marvelous time, but she kind of came off like he really didn't express that to her. And I'm gonna just say, for a guy, a lot of times it's like when we meet females, like, most females already know sex is all on our brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm out at restaurants and shit, like, she can't be too nice to me. I get wrong reads from that shit. Like, it's just women have a way of being nice, or, you know, hit you with a smile, or just hit you with something. So the expectation of sex often,
it's very present.
Yeah, it often tends to come up. You know, if you pumping your gas, hey, let me get that gas for you. I want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's something that's on my brain. You know,
that goes in the category if, again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I've been
let me get that gas for you.
I've been really turned off by people, even if when I wanted to, when the expectation wasn't wrong and I wanted to have sex, men have said shit to make me not want to in that moment because it's some cornball ass.
I get it.
Real lame. Oh, I can't wait to get you home, and you know my dick is hard right now, or just some shit that is not appropriate. Like, it really, it's a difference. It's a thin line between offensive and just inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of niggas is just inappropriate. And
So
they
give me any appropriate moment for you.
I don't know. Like, hey, your nipple's about to come out your top, and they're not. You know, just to call attention to my breast. Like, I can't really enjoy my food because I can't take my eyes off your cleavage, or it's just some lame ass shit.
So that's not a compliment.
No, it's just
Is that because is that because you're insecure about your breast?
No,
or?
it's the same. You're putting something in the air without swag. is what I'm saying.
So he a lame.
It's lacking finesse.
Now, but would that be your fault for picking a lame, or are you saying you don't know he a lame yet?
You don't know that. No, a lot of times you don't know.
Okay.
No, that's definitely not my fault. This is definitely not one of those moments where you're like, "Well, swim from a different pond." Like, fish from a different pond.
No, and I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying, one of those moments.
I'm not saying that because
a person can be cool all the way up to. Now they just so thirsty for the pussy that they just losing their fucking mind and don't know what the fuck they saying.
Thirsty?
Yeah, I've had just too thirsty. You can come off as too thirsty. Okay. And a lot of dudes can do that on dates or on trips. Like, I could see a dude trying to flex. Oh, you have anything you want. Like, it ain't nothing. Like, you Big Willie. Mm-hmm. So you just not pulling out your black card because you're being extra. Mm-hmm. And now you get back to the hotel and you expect me to be extra only to find out that ain't no extra going on. That's your fault. So it just depends on how you communicate things. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And don't ruin the mood, fellas. Sometimes we're there with you. Sometimes we're on the trip because we're ready to get fucked.
I totally get you. I really do. And I'm just going to say this. When it comes to females and their sexuality and sex appeal and this and that, and I often bring this up, like you said, like you a different breed. I will say this, for those of y'all that don't know. There's women out here, and then there's hoes out here. And them hoes are outnumbering y'all. And y'all never say nothing to these hoes to tell them to cut that shit out, because that's why y'all got these niggas acting like that. Like, when you get on Instagram, social media, this and that, this is why the nigga across the table looking at your nipples and damn near can't eat a steak because he's thirsty over your breast. It's like, this is what you see. Like, on and on and on and on. And it's the expectations of sex of why that is actually going on. Not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that's what's going on. But I noticed that y'all never like check any of these other hoes that's doing all this wild shit. Like, when y'all see shit like that, y'all think it's funny. Y'all will be like, oh, this bitch tripping. I think that y'all really need to check some of them because they really do outnumber y'all.
But checking looks like hating. Now, I check in my own way. Like, I posted this I found this meme that says, hey, something about you. I have to find it because it's not going to sound good if I don't say it the way it is. But it was directed towards women who actually are posting on the internet being thirsty. And you're right, it does make us look like, the more conservative woman looks rather boring.
Well, I'm not saying jump out the goddamn window. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's like, but y'all are truly outnumbered because like right now, I see a lot of shit that goes on to be like, well, where are the gentlemen at? You know what I'm saying? Where are all the real men at? Where you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas ain't shit, this and that. Well, the niggas and the gentlemen and everybody else is focused on these hoes that got their titties half out and their ass half out and ass clapping going on and all this other shit. That's where the hell they at.
Okay, so the post is, you've been naked on IG for 2 years, you still single, sis get dressed. Like, put your clothes on, it ain't working.
Mm-hmm. That's not hating to me.
But that's as far as I'm gonna go in the crusade of the hoe against the more conservative woman. That's as far as I'm gonna go. It's not working for you.
I ain't got
you
no
understand what I'm
that.
saying? But that's how the message is. I get what you're saying. Hey, we should stand up and say, hey, put your clothes on, be more conservative because you're making all of us look bad. But that looks like I'm hating, because in most cases, if that happens, the girl that's saying put your clothes on don't look like the girl that she's trying to tell to get dressed. The girl that she's telling to get dressed is a 10, and the bitch that's telling her to put the clothes on is a 4.5. Mm-hmm. So that's what it looks like. It's like, okay, the 4.5 is telling the 10 to get dressed. That looks like hate. Let another 10 let a 10 to put some clothes on. Well, and it might be better received. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally get it. Tell that 10 to tell that 10.
That's how the message needs to be delivered.
I still ain't got no problem with it. I'm just saying, like, I typically just don't see a lot of it, because when you're talking about expectations of sex, I'm just saying, like, those are some of the reasons why those things came off. Like, even I know scenarios what you talking about. I just like, for men, they'll say, hey, the OGs need to talk to the little homies. I try to talk to the little homies and I tell them things and give them game and stuff like that. And fellas, she's absolutely right. Really, at the end of the day, I tell my little homies, like, if you really want to get some pussy, just don't say nothing stupid.
Don't.
It's coming. It's coming down the pipeline. Just don't worry. But just don't say nothing stupid. Because a lot of times, I get women that be like, they can't fuck me the first night, they can't do anything, this and that, but they really just waiting on me to say something where they can skedaddle out the door. And then when I bring in Suave, it's a different scenario because I don't really say things stupid or stuff like that'll bring that up. So I get like what you're saying, like being on a date and then they'll say things like
Just
that.
turn you off.
But if you order that lobster, that's from the fucking side of the menu.
And women do know that. I will put that in the air for the men. I'll at least give y'all that. Women know what they're doing when they go.
They be acting like they don't.
No, they know exactly what they're doing. And in most cases, like, I hate that. Like, I'll invite people over and a bitch that always drinks gin, no matter what. Everywhere we've been, you done order gin and juice. As soon as you come to my house and you see that bottle of Hennessy, now I got gin. But since I got Hennessy, you just want to try the shit. You just want to drink up the Hennessy just because it's there.
So do you say something?
You damn right I say something. Don't your funky ass drink gin.
Shit!
I'ma say something.
Oh shit!
You understand? I'm going to say something because now you're just doing shit to do shit. I don't like that.
Okay.
That is a big turn off of mine where you're just doing something just to do it. Now I want to flip it on you a little bit because let's talk about the women who actually are on IG butt ass naked and then you jump in their inbox. Shouldn't you expect sex based on what they put out? Like, I always see niggas jumping in my inbox. I don't know why they in my inbox. Stay out my inbox. But then I click on the page and it's ass and titties and camel toe and ass and camel toe and camel toe and camel toe and camel toe. And he's not supposed to want to fuck you? He's not supposed to want to jump in your DM?
I'm gonna tell you this story. Okay? And this happened on IG. Flipping through IG. It's real relevant to what you're saying. This girl said that she caught a flat tire. And she was like, she got on there and she started ranting. She was like, damn, what a bitch gotta do? She was like, I'm out here with a flat tire and this nigga want my number before he changed my tire. I was like, I ain't really understand why she was ranting because I'm like, you beautiful. So what, you think he gonna change your tire and not ask for your number or not ask, you know what I'm saying, hey, can we continue this further? Like, I'm helping. But she was like mad because she was like, where the gentleman at? Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just change it and say, I gotta call one of my homegirls or a tow truck or this and that. But I was like, the same shit. I went on her Instagram and I see titties and ass and breasts and all this other type of shit. Not to mention that she was already fine, so obviously the nigga just didn't see that, but he saw what we saw. A damsel in distress. And that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't even get no credit for that shit. He's like, hey, I want to change your tire. I will. Just can I get your number?
But that's what would turn me off. I'm in distress. I have a flat tire. You want me to run off my cell before you change my tire? Like,
well, she didn't say it.
That's whack as fuck.
Well,
change the goddamn tire.
Well, she didn't say it.
You know what I'm saying?
She didn't say it that way. But so I'm gonna go this route. She didn't say it that way. She just said that I'm stranded on the side of the road and this what you thinking of. I'm just like, why can't I be thinking about both?
You should be.
She didn't say that he didn't change the tire first. She was just mad at the simple fact that he even tried to talk to her. But my thing is like, it's the same thing with them IG things. You can't be fucking making fucking like post after post like, you know what I'm saying? I'm lonely tonight. You know what I'm saying? I love being single. And I'm like, and a nigga ain't supposed to slide in there. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is just, and the thing about it is y'all pick and choose of who y'all gonna let slide in there. Because if it's like somebody get it, if you don't really know them like that, I just say, filter it out. Like, you ain't gotta totally just shoot it down. But it's like, it's getting to the point where it's like, they posting so much shit, I'm just like, I don't jump in inboxes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, there's thirst traps.
I'm gonna ask you a real question before we switch topics. If you saw a woman on IG and all she posted was sexually explicit photographs, what would your DM sound like? What type of message would you send her based on the content that she's posting? I want y'all to listen.
I mean, for me, I don't jump in DMs.
But if you did, what would be the right thing to say to a half-naked bitch on IG? What would be your words for the evening?
I don't really know what I would say. I would just tell you this. I'm not gonna contact her between 10 and 7 a.m. I would try to contact her between daytime hours,
Okay.
probably 7 between 5 o'clock. Ask her, you know, hey, how you doing? Want to get to know you. That's probably about as far as I would actually go with the shit.
Okay.
You know, because if she don't really respond from that, I just ain't going nowhere.
I asked the question because I really honestly wanted to know what type of verbiage would you have to give if that's the energy that she's putting out. The topic was expectations of sex, and a lot of times women are saying men shouldn't expect sex no matter what energy I put out, and that's absolutely in-fucking correct.
It definitely the fuck is.
Incorrect. If you're putting out titties and camel toe, then expect them to want to fuck. If that's the energy that you're putting out.
Yeah.
That is the whole point.
What
Now-
about places?
What do you mean?
What about places? So let's say, for instance, even though it don't go on anymore, but let's just say, for instance, like BCR, Freaknik, stuff like that. Like when I often hear like when women say they in sexual settings and then they're not dressed like, you know, but they still getting grabbed, touched, whatever this and that. But you're in the setting of
Basically,
of,
you took a conservative person and you went to a
Freaknik.
non-conservative
yeah, you went to
environment.
Freaknik. Yeah, you at Freaknik.
And because you're there, people are expecting you're there because
Well, everybody there
You
for
wanna
fucking,
fuck.
and we were trying to figure out why you here, even though you dressed up conservatively.
okay,
And-
everybody that walks down South Beach during Memorial Day is not there to get fucked. Sorry,
I know that.
Everybody that goes to BCR ain't there to get fucked. Everybody that go to Freaknik ain't there to get fucked. Point blank, period. I don't think you're like, I go to the strip club. I don't want dudes to walk in and be like, oh, it's a free for all. The bitches in the strip club. Anything goes here. That is
Mm-hmm. That's because
absolutely
your
not
ass on the hunt, nigga. Don't be trying to throw it off like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, if a place speaks to if you can approach me to fuck or not, then we are in a fucked up place.
We are in fucked
if
up
that's
times.
dictate if a place you show up to is dictating what you accept and not accept, that's you're going too much. But what you physically do and say, you can be held responsible for the expectations that people are putting on you based on how you carry yourself, based on the type of conversation you had. I just recently had a conversation with somebody that said, hey, I don't think you should put your podcast on Facebook because the community that's mostly there, they don't want to talk about threesomes. They don't want to talk about that shit. You need to have your podcast advertised to the people in those groups, those freak groups and things like that. Now, I didn't totally agree with him, but I got what he was trying to say. There's a time and a place for certain things, or a place where things should be or where they fit. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. I got that. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So if
But
you're
you can
gonna
post
put yourself
anything
in
you
that,
want to post
absolutely.
on your page. So if you don't like what I'm posting, take your motherfucking ass up off my page.
I'm just saying I got the point, and I'm trying to reference the point to what we were talking about.
I mean, I get it, but we talk about everything. So we talking about relationships.
Of course.
So
of course.
really, at the
they
end of the day,
probably just caught a
Exactly.
show.
So if
that was based
yeah.
on sex, and it was like, well, why aren't y'all posting your sex show for just people that want to have just for that audience? But our audience is for everything. We talk about everything from sex to non-sexual issues. So he was absolutely incorrect, but he had just caught that show and thought that show should be for a specific audience.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we can't say that a certain place is for a specific person.
I don't know.
Definitely not. But while we're talking about specifics, let's talk about some of the specifics that we actually share about our relationship to our friends and family. That in our culture is really looked down on. But I'm probably going to be a little bit different. And because of where I've been in my relationship, abuse, things like that, I think sharing is actually very important. Which I don't expect a lot of black people to be like, well, that's you know, they're most in our culture, whatever happens in the house, stay in the damn house. You don't take your business outside of the house. But I think in the climate that we're in, where silence has become a deadly, deadly issue among women like me, I don't encourage silence at all. Not even a little bit. Now, depending on the content. I know you'll probably change it to a more fun. Do you tell your girlfriend that your guy got good dick? Maybe not. But will I tell my girlfriend that the guy gave me a black eye last week?
Probably
I might.
not.
You understand what I'm saying?
Probably not.
But if you're keeping everything a secret, you're keeping everything a secret. If it's a code of silence with you, then you might not be saying something that needs to be said. So I want to watch my position on this platform when we talk about the code of silence in your home.
This one could get a little tricky. So I'm not gonna say that because let's keep it 100. Even though you saying all that shit, like majority of people like pillow talk. They got cousins because this conversation ain't going to just friends. Sometimes it go to friends, sometimes it go to family members and stuff like that. So I'll just say for me, I'm kind of like the oldest, and I have like kind of younger siblings and cousins and stuff like that. So really, they kind of come to me with their problems, and I'm even careful with that. So I'm gonna give scenarios from this. When it comes to, let's just say, we'll tackle the first thing, like advice. Okay, advice is some of the things that I typically don't do. I listen to what someone will say. I really will. But sometimes I think with people, especially with women, when they're giving advice to like they homegirls or, they cousins or whoever, is whatever tactics you use for your guy might not fucking work on her and her guy. Know why? Because them guys are totally fucking different. So you come using some fucking tactic that works on your guy and your guy pussy, or I don't even want to call him pussy. Let's just say he's a beta. He's not alpha. Let's just say, he's just beta. You know what I'm saying? But then you come talk to your homegirl and she got an alpha. The outcome is gonna be different. Totally fucking different.
Yeah.
He gonna shut some shit down, or you gonna find yourself in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why when it comes to advice, typically I'll be a lending ear. I'll be like, that's fucked up. I can do all those things, but if I'm not really 100% sure of the situation in this woman, because I don't really know how your woman is compared to my woman, I just be like, hey, what do you think? and kind of let them encourage it. And another thing is, I don't like wasting my breath either. Why am I gonna sit on the phone, text, talk, any of this shit for hours and hours on end of you telling me that you finna leave this girl? You finna leave this girl. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her shit and all this type of shit for me to say, yes, leave her, and your ass still there. Like, why am I wasting this type of air and type of space and type of breath? You understand? Like, that's another reason why I don't say shit, because realistically, I feel like the person is sitting there and just want somebody on their side. They just want somebody on their side. They already have an idea in their mind what they want to do. They just need confirmation. That's all they need. And sometimes if you just don't give it, they still got to come to it. So I just sit back on advice situations.
I'll piggyback off that. I think my issue with someone communicating with me would be, I think I would take a page from your book. I would be fearful of saying all this bad shit. Yeah, he ain't shit. Yes, you should leave. I would be afraid of saying all this shit, because once you put that out there, you can't take it back. And then she decides to stay. And now she wants me to come over for tea. Awkward. You understand what I'm saying? Like, now that how I really feel about him based on what you told me. You just completely trashed him. Now I trashed him with you. Now you've decided to stay and expect me to come over for dinner.
And now she done dry snitched.
Exactly. So
and now the nigga know how you feel.
Exactly. So I'm agreeing with you where I'm more of a listener than I am an advice giver. I'm definitely a big listener when it comes to my girlfriends. However, I will say this. I'm not going to give expert advice about it because I don't have any expert advice about it, but I know that I had a code of silence for myself for 10 long years.
Okay.
I would tell my girlfriends the sex was great. I would tell my girlfriends I was well traveled. I would tell my girlfriends what great cars he got and all the money we were spending. I would tell them all the great shit. And when I was getting my fucking head bashed in, that was the shit that they didn't fucking know. So when we brought up the subject of what we tell our friends and family, even though we were kind of like, let's talk about like how we tell our boyfriends or tell our girlfriends about how good the sex is. I couldn't get that off my mind. Having a code of silence or a code of secrecy, no matter what, I felt like my position should be no, 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 because of that issue.
Okay.
Now, where sex is concerned, because I'm such a free spirit, usually if I'm talking to a girl about my man's dick, it's because I'm trying to convince her that she need to come see about it. So that's why I couldn't
come see about it.
You need to come see about it. So I wasn't really, when the subject came in mind, I didn't go there. I automatically went to, hey, I want my friends to be able to share with me because I want to feel like it's okay for me to share with them if I'm in a bind and I need somebody to fucking show up and tell me to get my motherfucking bags and we finna go. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes women need that. Women need somebody that they can call and be like, hey, can I come there for the night? Because this motherfucker's acting a fool. And I need to be the person that I'm putting out the energy that it's okay to call me and do that and I will come.
Okay. I mean, I get it and I understand that. And see, on the flip side of that, I'ma say this, and this happens a lot, and it might not necessarily be a woman thing, but it is a guy thing sometimes. See, sometimes when you talk to your homeboys about, relationships, this and that, earlier on, some things that typically happen to guys is like, you don't know who you finna make your lady. Because when you very first start messing with a woman or you start fucking them, this and that, you have women who send like news and pictures and shit like that, and guess what the guy do? He show his homeboys. And for women that y'all don't know, some of them homeboys know exactly what y'all look like naked. because in
the beginning they share with their homeboys.
Yeah, the pictures that you done sent to him, he done shared to his homeboy. And then when he wifes her, I have to act like I didn't see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I just seen the titties out and the pussy and the whole thing, this and that. Now I gotta,
6 months later, I gotta pretend like I don't know.
And now y'all talking about marriage and shit like that, and I gotta be like, I forgot what those nipples look like, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So it's like, that's why I said like it's hard a lot of times, and in a code of silence, I get from your angle what you're talking about, but when it comes to a sex situation, I get that. Now, on the flip side, even though you're trying to get somebody to come into your bedroom like your homegirl or something like that, or women that you're trying to share with, there are those ones that are thieves. And they don't want to share, they just want to take. So when you expressing to them how, good your guy dick is and how he can make you come in this and that, some of them hoes be plotting. They might be your homegirl, but
they do. But you can't live. I think women like me can't live life under the fear that, hey, this particular bitch might try to take my man. If you're participating in the type of shit I'm participating in, then you and your man need to have the type of bond that you don't even worry about that, because you can't control another woman's actions. She could be good for 6 months and be the most loyal, most down bitch you ever met, and then on the 7th month, she just decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. So I don't worry about things I can't change. I have to just focus on the bond that I have with my partner and make sure that is where it needs to be, and make sure the communication is where it needs to be. Bitches can do what they want to do. I don't have any control, of that. And when they make those type of moves, they let me know, now you show me who you are. So now I can move you away and then replace you with somebody else that's going to be loyal for 6 more months.
You talking about the girl or your home or your
whoever
man?
It is. No, not my man, the bitch.
Okay.
Whoever exposes herself to be someone who's like, hey, I want this nigga to myself just because I let her in and shared with her, and now she like, hey, I want to snatch him. She's only exposing herself, and sometimes those type of things need to happen. I think sometimes information is power. Sometimes we could put shit out there. You could say we're talking too much, but sometimes we're throwing shit out there to see how that person reacts, and to see what you get back off that line. You throw some information out there and you get the wrong bitch back, you throw a bitch back in the water and throw your neck back out there and get another one.
You throwing the bitches back like they fish. Shit.
That's what they are. They are fish.
Damn. Okay, so now what about family members? So do you discuss like your relationship
with my family
and with your family? So I know you got a sister. You got cousins, mama, this and that. So do you discuss those type of things as far as your relationship?
When it comes to the type of relationship I have, I feel like I can't be secretive. Let me tell you why. Because I live in a small town. So let's say me and my guy are dating a girl, and I'm home cooking, and I send him and the girl out to Walmart. Well, my mama might be shopping at Walmart. Last thing I want is my mom to call me on the phone and be like, hey, so-and-so in here with another chick. I might not tell my mom directly that, hey, you know, mom, we have a girlfriend. I might say, mom, I have an alternative type of relationship. So I'm putting that in the air. So when she see him with another girl, she's going to second think. I could call my daughter and make a big deal about this. But how about I just get home and talk to my daughter later? Say, wait, I saw so-and-so in the store with so-and-so. If she says that without panic, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I might say, oh yeah, that was so-and-so. She will know that I already know. But if she called me with an attitude, oh, you'll never believe this, I'm standing here, I'm going off, that's going to be a problem. So to answer your question, my family doesn't know everything, but they know enough that if they see something that's out of ordinary, that they could just come to me without panic, without chaos, and just ask me and not make assumptions, because they know cousin Kana or is kind of, she do her own thing. So instead of making assumptions, we'll talk to her when we talk to her. So I tell them enough so that if they see something, it's not really strange. You understand what I'm saying? I have to. Now, if I lived somewhere else, I might not be so open. But because I live a place where I have a lot of family members, I kind of can't have a code of silence about the type of relationship I have, because that would cause me more drama at the back end. I think it would.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, you would tell your family members about your alternative lifestyle, but when you were in trouble, what was the reasoning behind you not choosing to say that you were in a bad relationship?
I think I had put so much positive shit out there, and I had pretended for so long and built like this perfect relationship that I would look like such a big liar. I thought it would make me look bad. At the end of the day, it wouldn't make him look bad. It would make me look bad, because you just told me he took you on this fantastic vacation and he got your credit straight, and he was the first person that made you go get tested for HIV. You told me all this shit.
But that don't mean he can't be a bad person, though.
It doesn't mean it, but I had built him up to be such a king that I just felt like a real piece of shit. That I didn't want to seem like an even bigger liar than I already was. It's weird. It's all mental. It's all, I'm sure, a part of some type of abusive woman syndrome. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But I just made it so perfect that it just didn't make sense to me to tell the truth.
Oh, okay. I got it. With me, I would say, like, when it comes to family members, the only person I initially talk to is my mom. My mom knows everything that actually goes down with me. She doesn't really give like advice or anything like that. It's more of
I have a problem with that, I think.
It's more
Not a problem, but a question. Let's say you get in a really bad fight with your girlfriend and you happen to just choke the shit out of her. Well, if you tell your mom, you know, I choked the shit out of this girl, it's kind of putting your mom in a weird position. Does your mom call your girlfriend and make sure the bitch still breathing, or does she act? You know what I'm saying?
My mom is still a mom, and my mom is still a woman. Really, at the end of the day, if I do something that's wrong, that's the difference I think between like a friend and my mom. My mom actually, if I choke the shit out of a bitch, she gonna say I'm wrong. No, why? Because she's a woman.
Okay,
right?
Now after she says you're wrong, would you take her advice if she said, okay, if this person is making you put your hands on them, you should leave? So if she's thinking to herself that this woman is putting her son in that headspace, she might develop a disdain for that woman, because that woman keeps putting your son in a bad headspace. So now you have a mother that doesn't particularly like your girl.
That's right. I've never been in that type of scenario, but I will say that at the end of the day, my mom raised me right, and she would tell me to view that relationship. And that is kind of like how I look at relationships. If a woman brings me out of character, if a woman brings me to red, that's what I call it. I call it to the point where I see red, and I got to put my goddamn hands around your throat and choke the motherfucking ass out, and I make this right there. Like, hey, when I'm going there, I'm like, I'm gone. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't really want to. I really don't want to be
in that type of headspace.
I don't want to be in that type of headspace.
Well, so now that you understand, I think to go back, I think that's probably why I didn't say anything either. Because if you're
but
not
I would have
ready
said
to,
something.
but
I would have
if-
said something.
No, but I'm talking about in my abusive relationship. Once you tell a family member or a friend even that you're getting your ass whooped, they expect you to leave. Well, everybody that's getting their ass whooped isn't always ready to go. Just because I'm telling you he blacked my eye doesn't mean I'm ready to pack my shit and go.
But I don't. But that's what I was saying. I'm not necessarily sure she would have told me to leave. You get what I'm saying? Because like really at the end of the day, I'll just say this: people do what they want to do. Like, so she could give me all that advice about leaving, and then I could still stay. You see what I'm saying? And then it's just gonna look a little crazy. So that's why I said, like, with her, I've never been in a situation where that's happened, but I'ma say for her, she keeps a level head and say, you know, you need to be careful and you need to look at all the scenarios of what's going on and this and that. She would just try to put me in a situation where I'm actually thinking and say to myself, do I want to stay in this relationship? This relationship is bringing me to this, or the relationship is bringing me to that. And then I would make the decision myself. She's never going to nudge me into a scenario where I'm just like, well, my mom said fucking leave it, so I'm packing all my shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think she would give that type of advice. Now, if you talk, and also keep in mind, different stages of life. You know, so women have different stages of life. Maybe when she was younger, she would say, fuck them. You know, if she get older, patience might get, you know, better. It might get thinner. You don't know. You also, that's why I said, like, you also have to know about where this person is in life, where you asking advice from. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes, like, when if your friend call you and she's going through it with her man, and she's sad and she's upset, well, she's miserable. Well, she wants you miserable too.
Not necessarily.
Majority of the time, she wants you there. I'm not saying all the time.
Right.
It just depends on the person. Like, if you an advice giver, then no, she don't want you there, but she might want you more on her side than his side. Now, you could step back and say, if you are a smart individual, you know, what did he do? What happened? The whole nine. And then you can kind of assess the situation, then go on about it. But for the most part, I kind of look out for people who they need you to be in a bad space of what's going on. That's why with guys, a lot of time, guys don't really talk to each other about like what's really going on when they in a bad scenario. Because that bad scenario that they in, if I tell you to leave your girl, I could probably tell you to leave her prematurely. You know what I'm saying?
Before you were ready.
Yeah, before you was ready. Or me just not knowing all the facts. Like, if your girl at the house and she's tearing up shit and throwing up shit and tearing up the goddamn house, I need to know what you did for it to get to that point.
What the fuck did you do?
You know what I'm saying? And if you like, well, damn, I fucked my coworker. Well, shit, nigga, you fucked your coworker at the job. You don't shit where you eat at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have different scenarios that I could paint to tell you that you fucking up. So a lot of men don't ask for advice for a lot of men because we've been there and we know what the outcome is.
Right.
I had a homeboy that was in a bad scenario like that where he worked at a job and he decided to work with his coworker. I mean, fuck with his coworker. I told him that, listen, it's a bad idea. It's too fucking close to home. You know what I'm saying? And I also have a rule. If you gonna fuck someone, and this is for you fellas, if you're gonna step out on your lady, just don't carry the shit on. You gotta do a 3 fuck minimum rule and get your ass out of Dodge.
So fuck her 3 times and go on about your business.
And go about your business. You can't be fucking these hoes for like 2-3 months and getting all this shit going on. Like, this shit is fucking ludicrous. Man, you building a whole goddamn relationship and going on.
Right.
You fuck these motherfuckers 3 times. You know what the pussy like. Make sure you do it doggy style. Make sure you get the head and get the fuck out of Dodge. Fucking them any point of time past 3, you are asking for trouble. And I'm telling you, and that's what he did. He ended up going past the 3 fuck rule. Now he's doing shit that you typically don't do. Now instead of fucking her, you going out to eat with her and shit. And taking her places and going to the movies and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that just doesn't come off well. And then she was able to send pictures. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So if he would have asked me for that advice, I would have told him, No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm not really. I think my friends who specifically come to me already know I'm not gonna give them the sort of advice like pack your shit and leave, get out. I don't even do shit like that. And I think the friends that come to me for advice already know that. They already know that they're talking to someone who is mostly gonna listen and keep her mouth shut. They already know that up front. So the women who do reach out to me, it is more about listening, and it's not about telling them what to do. And believe it or not, most of the women who reach out to me are in relationships with other alpha males. So, and they know I'm in a relationship with an alpha male. And that might be the reason why they're reaching out to me.
I don't know if I believe that shit.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. I think they in a relationship with an alpha male. But I don't think so. They beta, not alpha. That's what I'm telling you. You know, they might be omega.
But most of my girls who talk to me already know I'm not coming from that type of objective. So I've set out a safe space. I've put the type of energy out, letting a person know that, hey, this is a safe space to share, because I'm not gonna tell you jump off the bridge. I'm not gonna tell you to do anything other than talk. Because sometimes you just need to tell somebody that you're losing your shit. You know what I'm saying? And coming from talking to someone who has lost her shit before, sometimes that's good. Everybody isn't in it to commiserate. Everybody isn't really talking to get feedback. Sometimes people are just talking because they need to talk. And I think if you're a girlfriend that's talking to somebody, you need to know the difference. Sometimes you need to intervene. Sometimes you need to shut the fuck up and just listen. You know what I'm saying? And I think matters, you know, whether it's domestic, children, sex, I think you have to choose your battles. As a friend, especially if you consider that. And I think this matters too. How close are you to the friend that you're talking to? Because if you don't give a fuck, you can tell him anything. Girl, you should leave him, pack your shit, because you don't really care anyway. You just trying to get off the phone. This bitch texting me again for the 100th time. I'm going to tell her that nigga ain't shit. Just to get her off the phone and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? You might not really care. If you have a friend that you care about, I plan on being at this person's wedding, funeral, seeing the kids get married. I'm going to watch what I say to her, because she might not be ready to leave that nigga. I say the wrong shit. Now I'm not invited to the wedding, the funeral. I never see the kid. I'm never invited anymore over there because of the position that I took. So you have to choose your battles, number one, and know who your friend is dating and know who your friend is. That covers her wanting your man's dick. Know who your homegirl is that you telling about your dick. Know who she is. Know who you trying to share with. You don't always know, but pay attention is what I'm saying. Pay attention, choose your battles, and watch what you're saying to your girlfriends, especially if it includes matters of them leaving their men, getting out of their relationship. Again, sometimes people aren't sharing for you to say anything. Sometimes they're just sharing to share. And for my friends, that's what it is.
Well, are you ready to share? This has been a great episode of Relations.
You can find me on IG at Kana Lassiter, on Facebook at Kana Lassiter, and also on Twitter at Kana Lassiter.
Find your boy on both platforms. Twitter and IG is 51 Spade. You have any comments, leave it, subscribe to the channel. We here every Friday at 8 p.m. Peace.